welcome back to my channel. If you saw Saturday's video, you would have seen I made my own silicone mould. It turned out so nice. Today's video, we are making key rings and jewellery pendants. Let's go. If you watched Saturday's video, you will recognise these. This is what I used to create my mould. They are tiny, teeny tiny wooden blocks from a tumbling tower game that I got from the Poundland. I got from Poundland. They were around £3 or £5, I believe, a few years ago. Hopefully they've still got them. Now in this video I am using Jesmonite, but I do plan on using resin in the future, and maybe even a cross between the two, like a hybrid resin and Jesmonite, maybe even wood and Jesmonite. I have sped this section up because it's a little bit slow. The first thing I'm doing is adding foil into my mould. I am going for the classic marble look with the greys and even black in this video. The one thing to know is if you have not tried Jesmonite and you would like to, or if you've already tried Jesmonite, you will already know Jesmonite does not pick up things from the mould like epoxy resin. So if you have done resin in the past and you're expecting all of that foil to come off in your piece, it absolutely will not. Jesmonite does not grip like epoxy resin. So whilst you see me shoving all of this foil down inside, I totally fully do not expect all of this foil to come up with the pieces. That is why I kind of put more in than I do end up wanting. And that's not a problem, I can easily clean it with tape afterwards. Now the first design I'm going for is the typical marble. A few little drops of black, not too much because you can take over and it can just turn grey quite quickly. I'm still working on my marble technique. Some days we get it just beautifully perfect and other days we don't see much of that black at all. So there's definitely, you know, a lot of learning to be done through all of this, and yeah, practice. Again, even if you practice for a year, there's still no guarantee you're going to get a gorgeous marble because Jesmonite does its own thing, a little bit like epoxy resin. But here you see me just pouring a couple of real simple white, and now it's turning grey, marbles into the gold and also into the silver. But I also wanted to then create some darker colours. So what I did, I just got my lollipop stick and I mixed it all together. So those three teeny tiny black dots have created quite a deep grey and it's beautiful, and I thought this would also look gorgeous alongside the gold and the silver, so I pour that into both as well. And then following on from this, I add just a teeny tiny, and I mean teeny tiny, dab of more black pigment to create a gorgeous solid black colour. And sadly I didn't catch it on camera because it was a last minute decision, but I sprinkled in some of that floating pigment from Just For You online. You may have seen that in previous videos. I used it with Jesmonite and it comes out beautifully. So I used some gold floating pigment in the black just to see how this works out. Now I have done some Jesmonite things in the past, some jewellery in the past using like a space theme, and they came out beautifully. They pick up mica powder really well, but again, not all of the powder comes out, so you do have a clean up on your hands. This is 30 minutes later. The mould is still super squishy. This, by the way, is 24 hours after making the mould. This isn't immediately after making the mould. I did allow it to sit for 24 hours. They come out so easily. It is ridiculous. I was worried, but I think because it's such a deep mould, the Jesmonite wouldn't crack on demould, but here they are. I already know that I love them. If you have not worked with the Jesmonite in the past, the Jesmonite actually weighs, I want to say, twice as much as epoxy resin. The weight in these is unreal, which is why they make such beautiful pendants. If you've ever made resin jewellery, you know it just doesn't hang, it doesn't sit sometimes, but the weight in these, it really is like having a stone, having a rock hanging around your neck. So it's beautiful and they are guaranteed to just hang in place and be lovely. The first thing I do need to do though is sand some of these down. Now this one here I over poured, so it's got like a dome effect on it, so I just want to sand some of these down Now, this sandpaper is linked in the description box below. In my Amazon storefront, I have a whole section on Jesmonite, and in there you will find some wet, waterproof, wet, dry sandpaper. So you can use it wet, you can use it dry. I do prefer to wet sand with Jesmonite. It keeps the dust down. And don't forget to be wearing your mask at all times when using Jesmonite as well. I do forget to mention that. I'm actually rounding this one off. I had this idea in my head that it would look really cool with like rounded edges. It would look a lot more organic, like a real stone. And it just looks like it came straight out of the earth kind of thing. So yeah, I spent some time on this, sanding it down and rounding off the edges. Remember to add fresh water in every kind of 20 seconds so that you're not just sanding into the gloop. It creates this muddy, gooey kind of consistency on the sandpaper. But look at these, they're so cool. I went ahead and sanded them all, guys. You don't need to sit through that. I just sanded down any sharp edges and just made them gorgeous. Now, this is my absolute go-to drill when it comes to jewellery, when it comes to key rings. This drill is the one. It is linked below. It is a USB connector, so you do need a USB plug to use it, but I am telling you, it is a game changer when it comes to drilling into Jesmonite and drilling into epoxy resin. Another question you might have, can we drill into Jesmonite? Absolutely yes. I've made these before. I've made key rings before. They work beautifully. And I've also made a clock with Jesmonite before, made a huge hole in the middle, and it works beautifully. So make sure you're just supporting your piece. And if you're making a clock, support the back with maybe some clay. So I've done my drilling, and I do give a generous deep hole. I do drill quite deeper than I need it to, just because I just feel like it's going to help the eyelet go in. Now again, these are eyelet screws. I have everything linked below. I have a whole section on jewellery in my Amazon storefront. You will find the eyelet screws there. You will find the tools there, and you will find the jump rings there. That is the word I always forget, jump rings. So everything is linked below. I'm just using my tools to help me kind of screw it in. It does get quite tight at the end, and I definitely don't want to break the eyelet, and I don't want to break or snap the Jesmonite. But of course, this is next day. I would recommend drilling next day, 24 hours later, because that is when the Jesmonite is at the ultimate strength. Now we also have a choice of keychains here. Again, they're linked below. This one here is my favorite because it has a swivel neck. Now I've just added some black rope to this one. Now if you guys remember, I used the most incredible mould last year to create these ammonites. So I'm just finding some ammonites now, still in a crate that I still have. And I'm just adding these on because I think they kind of go well together. We've got that almost ancient look of the ammonites and the stone look of the Jesmonite together. I think works really well. So here is a whole tray of jump rings. I actually got these from another company when I collabed with them last year, but yeah, I will link some jump rings below, and I've just attached them together, and I absolutely love this combo of the ammonite alongside the Jesmonite block. I just think it looks so, I don't know, it looks prehistoric to me. It looks like a standing stone next to an ammonite. I really love it. You could get extra fancy, a little bit bougie if you wanted to, and add on a tassel. And I actually do go ahead and add the purple tassel on. Now, I didn't really give you a close-up of the black and gold, but here is the black and gold with the powder. So as I mentioned, I sprinkled in some of that floating pigment powder. It is beautiful with Jesmonite, and yeah, the black and gold, I have to say, is probably up there with my favourites. So again, I'm drilling deeper than I need to. This hole is not exactly central, but handmade with love, not perfection. Remember guys, handmade with love, not perfection. that is my motto, and I'm sticking by it no matter what happens. So it has picked up some of the foil, and on this black it just looks so beautiful. A little bit of a helping hand from my tools, and yeah, really love this one. I've added the black rope onto this one. You can add the rope in any which way you can. I think I've got the black rope linked below, and quite frankly right now I've lost the rope. It's somewhere in my craft room, but that's because I need to do a bit of a clean up and find it. But I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving the industrial feel of the black rope against the black Jesmonite. I really do love it. Here they are, all finished, and I love them so much. I love them so much. Now, I do have an Ammonite Jesmonite keyring on my keychain, and it has so far lasted the test of time. It's been there about 6 months. It's done well so far. But again, it's definitely up to be tested, because we all know that Jesmonite can crack, but it also is a super strong product, so it really shouldn't, it should be fine. But let me know your thoughts, let me know which one is your favorite. I really love the traditional, the elegant marble, but I'm loving that black and gold as well. I cannot wait to make more with this mold. I hope you've really found this video helpful. I absolutely will put all the details below for that silicone. The silicone is of course from Let's Resin. This is a collaboration in partnership with Let's Resin as well, because I am now an affiliate, and even though I've already used their silicone in a previous mold, I will also put their details below if you are interested in making your own mold. I just think these are gorgeous. I'm so in love. Forgive the lighting at this point, I was losing light, but yeah, I just love them. Let me know which one is your favourite. Let me know if you've tried keyrings or pendants or jewellery. I have not yet made earrings. That would be something to try for sure. But I have, of course, got other videos on my channel using the Jesmonite to create jewellery and pendants and keychains. I will link those videos here as well. I hope you enjoy, and if you've stayed to the end, I massively appreciate you. We are nearly 11 minutes in, so please do not forget to hit that thumbs up. And if you are still here, then for sure hit that subscribe button. It is free. You will have fun here. And if you've stayed this long, you kind of might as well. So I'm Claire, nice to meet you. And definitely leave me a comment down below. Guys, I am still 100% replying to comments. And yeah, yeah, I have to do it. I have to do it until I can no longer do it. So do leave me a comment down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.